So in front of me is the SetPower PT35, which is a 37 quart dual zone 12 volt refrigerator. Now on this model, it has individual lids, which is pretty cool. It's one thing that I'm excited about. And you can configure this a couple different ways. You can make the whole thing a fridge or a freezer, or you can mix and match. Make this a fridge, make this a freezer, make this the fridge, make this the freezer. And that's something I'm looking forward to adding to my camping setup. So full transparency, SetPower is not sponsoring this video. They're not paying me to make this video, and they're not reviewing this video. I actually happened to be in the marketplace to try out a smaller, compact, dual zone 12 volt refrigerator, and I just got an email from SetPower asking if I wanted to check out one of their 12 volt coolers. I got to go on their website, go through all their different series 12 volt platforms, and I chose the PT35 for my needs. Let's get some raw dimensions. With the handles, we are 27 inches long by 16 inches wide, and we're 17 inches high. That's the outside dimensions. Now, let's measure the inside. We've got dual zones, remember, so the right side, the bigger side, is going to be 11.5 inches by 10.5 inches, and we have roughly 12.5 inches deep. The smaller unit is 7.5 by the same 11.5 inches, and this one is roughly 6.5 inches deep, just big enough for a tub of ice cream. Now, to me, the only way you can do an honest review like this, if you have experience with other 12 volt coolers, which I do. I've had the CFX from Dometic for about 5 years now. It's a phenomenal 12 volt cooler. However, it's extremely expensive. About 6 to 8 months ago, I got the Viver 12 volt cooler with wheels, and that is a very entry-level, budget-friendly 12 volt cooler. The price point dictates that. And I would say the SetPower is a step above the Viver and below the CFX from Dometic. And the reason why I say that is the overall construction is a little bit more robust, a little bit stronger than the Viver. For example, these handles are a lot more robust than the Viver. Probably the weakest point of the Viver 12 volt refrigerator is the handles. I rarely use them. I'm typically dragging it with the wheels. However, when I'm camping, I don't seem to use the wheels. I actually like the wheels when I'm going to the pool or I'm just going to the park. When I'm camping, I don't want the wheels. So I've got another scientific way how I like to rate a cooler. If that cooler can fit 2 cases of Ultra Seltzers, organic, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, by the way, this cooler right here fits 2 of those. So this thing gets a check mark for me. And what I like to do at camp is I will drink this top one, I'll open it up. Once this one's done, I'll bring the cold one that's been in there for a while. I'll get a new one that's warm, throw it at the bottom, put that cold one at top. More drinks to drink around the campfire. Let's talk about the latches on this unit. These latches are plastic, which is pretty common within the industry, but they're dual latches. On my CFX Dometic, which is $1,000, it's just one little tiny plastic latch. In my opinion, these are better latches. So you've got a dual latch on this lid, and then you have a dual latch on this lid. Holding these latches together is 4 stainless steel screws, and then inside you can actually see the mechanism that holds this thing together when it latches. Around each lid is a nice thick rubber gasket, keeping that cold air in and that hot air out. All right, so how does the 12 volt cooler get powered? Well, I just said it right there. One of the options is a 12 volt source, like a cigarette lighter, plugged into the cooler. The other option is a 110 volt power brick. Now, on the Dometic CFX, the power brick is built into the unit. That's why the cost is so high. And for units like this from SetPower, how they reduce the cost so they make the unit cheaper to the consumer like us, is they install these cheap external power bricks. I don't really travel with this unless I know I'm gonna have a 110 volt source. Like I said, I use these at home, and then when I travel, I use the cigarette lighter. I can plug it into my car, I can plug it into a power station like a Jackery, and then also too, I plug it into the camper. I've got some pre-installed cigarette lighters on the outside of my camper, and this thing stays out of the camper for drinks. Well, let's try this again. I just filmed all that, and time-lapse mode, so I gotta redo it. We're gonna test out the power consumption of the SetPower using the Jackery power station. If you don't already have a power station, highly recommend a power station. This is a 240, so 240 watts from Jackery. And I would recommend going up to a 500 watt unit for a 12 volt cooler. If you plan to take this to the pool, you plan to take it to the park, you want to use it for an afternoon or a whole day, get yourself a power station, because these things are designed to be used with the 12 volt cigarette lighter. So let's plug this in and see how much power the SetPower 35 actually burns. Now, on SetPower's spec sheet, it says a max output of around 50 watts. Once the compressor gets up to the speed, we should see that 50 watts. Now, how the SetPower works is on the controls down here, you have your individual controls for the left side and the right side. And how the compressor works is it cools down one side at a time and then goes back and forth depending on which one needs to be cooled off. So down here, you'll see the left side is currently on. You can see that by the red light. And once this gets cooled down to, we have it set at 36. Once it gets down to 36, it will jump over to the right side. This one is set at 36 as well. Inside, which is pretty cool, they have 12 volt LED lights. So if you're using this outside like I do at night, you want to come get a drink, it has the LED light in there to light up to get your food or your drink out, which is a feature that I like. So currently we're seeing 37 watts. The compressor is not fully at the max capacity, which is 50 watts. Down here, you can actually see the compressor setting at a max and a min. I leave mine in max. Now, the usage and watts on this is gonna dictate based on the ambient temperature. Currently outside in Texas, it's late fall going into winter. It's like 65 degrees and the shop is nice and cool in here. But if you want to, you can turn that compressor from max to min and it's gonna draw less watts, saving you battery. Now over here, it has a battery protection as well. It has high, middle, and low. That's a battery protection. Once it sees that your battery is getting low based on voltage, this will turn down the compressor. It will also turn off so it doesn't kill your house battery. That's a feature that I don't use. I'm gonna keep this one in max on the compressor, and I'm actually gonna change this down to low because I'm gonna manage my own battery voltage through my own shunt in my camper. And if this thing dies, not a big deal. Take it home and charge it. I like the way SetPower did their tactile dials for the temperature. It's very easy to use. The Viver is not very easy to use. This is very comparable to the higher end Dometic CFX. I just like how simple it is. Bam, there you go. The light just turned over, so now the right side is being cooled, and that will cool that down to, I think I set it down to 20 or 19 degrees. Once that gets cooled off, it will jump back over here. If they're both at the same temperature, the compressor will turn off, being that 12 volt efficiency. 45 watts is our current output, and we are cooling the right side down. Man, I really like this unit, guys. You can't beat the price and the quality, and I'm looking forward to using this more in the future. Right there, the freezer, man. That ice cream while you're camping. Can't beat it. The other thing I want to talk about is warranties. SetPower's comes with a 1-year parts and defect warranty, but it also comes with a 3-year compressor warranty. That compressor is going to be the heart of this 12 volt cooler. If something's going to go out, it might be the 12 volt compressor. Now, 3 years for this price point, it's hard to beat. The Dometic CFX that I've had for a while comes with a 5-year warranty, but you're paying $1,000 for that 5-year warranty. The cheaper, lower end Viver comes with, I think, a 1 year off the top of my head. But this is the best bang for the buck, in my opinion. That being said, this is my new recommendation for a budget 12 volt cooler. And you've got to use the word budget vaguely because this is a solid 12 volt cooler. I honestly don't even recommend the Dometic 12 volt cooler anymore because at this price, just over $300, and with my discount code of 12% off, you can't beat this, guys. You just can't. Now, if you're wanting something a little bit bigger, they've got a ton of options on their website. In the next video, we're gonna be installing a 12 volt socket in the bed of my F-150 pickup truck so we can power this while we're driving down the road. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.